Welcome to today's. We had to turn the phone, so
Don't
that
talk
couldn't
too
go.
long. This is gonna hurt my arm.
Today we're going to talk about the three ways that we use to find leads right now. Okay, and you even if you do just one of these three ways, you should have success almost immediately. And that's the good thing about it, right? A lot of you don't want to really waste a lot of time and money in finding leads, especially if you want to do a deal right now. So, number one is something that we totally rely on right now, and I have a lot of students that do this and they with great success, and is driving for dollars. There is no substitute for that. And driving for dollars is when you actually drive around looking for properties that show some time of distress, either not necessarily vacant, but they could be occupied. Maybe the owner is not taking care of the property, probably it's a rental, and they don't really care. You look for signs of the house needs to be painted, is the driveway is bad, the grass in the yard, the newspapers, show signs of distress basically, right? And so you drive and you come up with a list of these properties, and then you skip trace, meaning you find who the owner is and call the owners and see what you can work out. So driving for dollars is really a strategy that works. Like to just give an example, we do it every couple of weeks, but I have one student that actually does it every single day. That's his main strategies. For us, it's one of the strategies, but he does every day. 6 a.m. he goes out there, drives, gets some coffee, and gets some pastries, and from 6 to 9, 10 a.m. he drives. And he does several deals a month in different states. He actually drives to the other state and drive around too. And each deal he does is $20,000, $30,000. So it's really a strategy that works, doesn't take much time. As far as time out there, you're going to sure bet. So even if you come up with 100 properties a week from this strategy, you are going to get some hits because you're getting there before these properties make it on any list a lot of times. And also, when you drive around, just make sure that you write notes about the property, right? What the property is, what work it needs, so that when you talk to the seller or the owner, you have an instant connection, okay? You have the connection to say, okay, I look at your property, it shows, cracks in the driveway, looks like it needs paint, that type of thing. So you want to take pictures, or you use apps like HomeSnap, for example, or PropStream has a new Driving for Dollars app in it. It's really powerful because, like I said, you actually connect with the owner, and you can talk about the property. One of the things that we do actually is also boating for dollars. Liz lives on a canal in Cape Coral, and we realized that going down up the canals, you see a lot of properties from the back that you cannot see the front. You see properties where the dock is falling in the water, or the pool is distressed, or things like that, and then we call the owner. So boating for dollars, a ninja strategy of driving for dollars if you have a boat and live on a canal. The other one is evictions. Now, there is I understand that there's been an extension of moratorium on evictions for 60 days. So, I don't know, it depends on where you are, which counties, which state, but in some states when the evictions got lifted, it flooded the gates. There were a lot of evictions being filed. So that's something that, depending on where you are, you might want to look into it. If not, you might have to wait. There's an extension in progress for 60 days. But eviction is going to be huge, honestly, more than foreclosures, because a lot of these people, homeowners, landlords that had these properties, got really tired of dealing with these properties and tenants that are not paying the rent over the last year, right? So now, as soon as they can, they want to file evictions, and and if somebody approaches them about buying the property, they say, yes, I'm tired of being a landlord. This is not something I want to put myself into anymore. And so going after eviction. So where do you get the list for the eviction? The best way is to get through the courthouse. Wherever jurisdictions where they file evictions, talk to the clerk for that and find out how you can access to the list. Whenever you deal with public databases, though, don't just give up on it, okay? You have to go and talk to the right people. You have to be persistent, because a lot of time the clerks don't know, right? So you talk to one clerk and say, oh, we don't have such a list, because he's probably not responsible for that list, but ask them to talk to a manager or supervisor or somebody they can really give that information. So it takes a little bit of digging. Sometimes you have to go down like a rabbit hole about it. But the thing is that will definitely get you properties. And like I said, we are in the middle of a CDC regulation right now, so we'll see what happens with that. And the third strategy, actually I'm going to have Elizabeth talk about this, is like doing social media ads, paid ads about properties. This is something that right now a lot of people are on the internet, owners-wise, to look for a solution of their problems, right? So to put posts on social media, on Craigslist, and ads about helping them out of a problem is going to get people to connect with you at least and respond. And then you might have to have a conversation, invite them to message you, then you message them back. So it's what is called kind of a chat type story. And Liz can tell you a little more about it because she is more involved in the social media and also with talking with people and understanding their motivation behind it. So you want to point the camera? I know, but you can elaborate. Point the camera to you.
I don't really know too much about what more to say on that except for the fact that when they reach out to you through your ad on Facebook, on Google, pay-per-click, anyway, is you want to respond right away, like within a few minutes is the best bet, because you want to hit them while they're currently thinking about it and while they're currently talking about it and all of that. And then you just go through your typical negotiations with them, asking them about the property, getting all the questions, those important questions that you need to know as an investor. And then, you know, getting something over to them right away. So a contract, some kind of offer, contingent on viewing the property, all of that, so that, and I let them know, I'll say, okay, this is what I'm going to offer, but I need to view the property, and if the numbers match, great, but if you were, you know, there was different rehabs that maybe you have not mentioned or thought about that I find, then, you know, we may have to change our price a little bit, but I try to get it under contract right away through lead generation. Now, right now, with everything going on through Facebook ads and everything being all virtual and online, bringing in it through ads is probably one of the best ways, but you do have to have a budget. So if you're a new investor that does not have a budget for this, I don't recommend it because it costs anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month starting to get really any good traction, and it takes a couple of months sometimes because you're still learning. Now, once you have that kind of budget and you bring it in, obviously $2,000 to $3,000 when you make, you know, and you bring in multiple leads and you make an average of $10,000 per lead and you have multiple coming in from that campaign, that's definitely a different story to where that makes more sense. And I usually recommend this more for investors that have already done deals and have that kind of budget, and then the leads come to you versus you always having to go and find the leads. So in today's market, with everything going on, people are Googling solutions, and that's when you want to pop up in that area.
Yeah, in the beginning, you know, it takes a little bit of a finesse with Facebook ads. So you want to start with maybe $20 a day. Some people say $5 to $10, but honestly, Facebook right now, with the algorithms, the way they go, if you do only $5 to $10, they're really never going to take you out of the training phase, as they call it, where they're going to give you very limited leads exposure. So you want to have at least $20 to $30 a day in your budget, and it quickly escalate from there. So $20, $30 a day, that comes to about, you know, close to $1,000 a month. But soon enough, like Liz said, $2,000 to $3,000 a month is really going to give you traction. But even if you spent $1,000 in the beginning, you are going to get some leads. But like what is very important, like Liz said, is really start a conversation. You're not putting an ad just to say people, hey, you know, I'm interested in buying your house. Obviously, people are not really going to respond to that, but really offering something to them. For example, offer them that you're going to send them a PDF about 7 ways to stop a foreclosures. Or offer them a solution, you know, it says we have solutions for all problems. Let's talk about how we can help you. And then you want to start a conversation with them, you know, so when you do what they call a chat, and they say, yeah, well, I saw your ad, you know, this is my situation, how would you help me? Because people have to know you and trust you and like you, right? Even as an investor, to really go ahead and connect with you and see how you can help them. So it's a great thing because you don't have to talk to people on the phone, you don't have to do cold calls. It's all done via chat and social media, but it's going to build a connection, and soon enough you can say, hey, let's get on the phone and see how we can work it out. So definitely ads and social media are doing amazing right now, but you have to do it the right way, establishing connections and starting a messaging system. We talked about evictions, because eviction, again, is something that is going to come back even after 60 days, and it's going to come back with a vengeance, because people are going to be fed up and tired. So to approach this landlords, it's going to give you a ton of leads. As always has, by the way, something I've used over the years many times over, because evictions is not a lot of people, investors, tap into this because they don't know where to get this list. And the other thing we talk about, driving for dollars. So if you're immediately needing to do a deal this month, get in your car today, start driving around, come up with these leads and approach them and call them, okay? Text them, call them, and make sure you have a good visual of the property. Take a picture or use apps like HomeSnap, PropStream, so that when you talk to the owner, he knows you're actually seeing the property, you're not just randomly calling from a list. That makes a huge difference. And honestly, having that type of connection and visual, and saying, hey, I was driving by your property and I see that, I was wondering if you might be interested in selling. And then, take a conversation from there. And if they say no, and the property is falling apart and is abandoned, you have nothing to lose by asking them, okay, so may I ask you why you don't want to sell? I see the property needs a lot of work and I live in the neighborhood. So, obviously I'm interested, I care about property values. So, I kind of joke about it and stuff like that, and start the conversation, and you can turn things around so many times. So hopefully this was helpful, up a high overview on our 3 best ways to get leads right now. And make sure you comment below the video. I'm sorry? What?
Nothing, go ahead.
Comment below the video, and also there is a link for you to connect with us, and we have go ahead and answer some of the questions and see how we can help you really get your business going. So Liz, you want to add anything?
Nope, just want to say bye.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.